Hello and welcome. My name is Satyan Patel. Today I'm going to show you a board game called Nefarious, the rules that accompany it, an explanation of a playthrough, and the history behind it. The reason for the rules rewrite and video is to explain how simple the game really is. And with an instructional design like this, I believe it could have sold really well. The audience for this board game is anyone who enjoys playing games and pretty much any age group from 6 to 60. Nefarious is a 2 to 6 player game with games lasting about 20 minutes average. The box states up to 40 minutes, but my family and I have averaged about 20 minutes per game. My kids truly enjoy this game, and though the box states 13 years and older, my 6-year-old daughter grasped it really well. The game is about being a mad scientist and inventing humorous inventions as fast as you can. The inventions are perfectly suitable for kids. The object of the game is to create as many inventions as possible to score a total of 20 points, and they are declared the winner. The game also makes a great filler game in between those large D&D game nights. This is Donald X. Vasariano. He invented Nefarious the board game. As a creator and a writer, he is not famous, but he also created the hugely popular Dominion. Dominion has sold over 2.5 million copies since 2005. It is the original deck building game that created a whole new genre of deck building mechanics and has since been popular. However, Nefarious is a strategy worker placement board game that was created well before Dominion and has seen little success and is now out of print. Nefarious is a card game at its heart. The game was created back in 1998. The first iteration was overly complex. The second version was a lighter version with less cards and complexity. For the third version, the wording was cleared up on the cards and in the instructions. Actions were revised and small minor changes were made to this 2011 edition that is published by USAopoly. If you're interested, with a bit of searching and patience, copies of the game can be found new and used ranging from $9 to $29. I purchased my copy new on clearance right before it went out of print. Upon inspection of my copy, it was missing a set of purple meeples, the little wooden figures, and the manufacturer no longer carried the replacement parts. So I purchased some pink ones that I thought my daughter would enjoy from a local board game shop. If a local place doesn't carry spare parts, try Etsy, eBay, or MeepleSource. They average for less than $5 for 10 meeples. Keep in mind that Nefarious the game does include enough content for up to 6 players, and you really don't have to order the extra meeples if you don't want to, because it comes with 25 already. So I figured I could just provide a little variety with the pink ones. So usually the game comes with all of these items: the playing board, 30 meeples, or spies as they call them, 36 twist cards, 64 invention cards, 24 action cards, 4 for each player with their own distinct color, 90 cardboard coins or chits at 12 coins with $10 each, 24 coins with $5 each, and 54 coins worth $1 each, and the instructions. I've included a link to the instructions, but if the link no longer works, then a simple Google search for them will do the trick. Game setup. For the game setup, place the game board in the center so everyone can reach it. Shuffle the invention deck and place them on the white background invention cards area. Now shuffle the twist cards. Draw 2 cards and place one of each on the playing board twist area. I highly recommend that for the first few games not to use the twist cards. Then place the remaining twist cards back into the box. The twist cards change up the way that the game is played and it affects the overall game play. Now provide each player with a set of 5 matching spies or meeples. Now each player receives their 4 action cards in matching color. Each player now receives $10 as starter money. I like to give each person a $5 coin and the rest in $1 coins. The rest of the money should be placed to the side. If you're wondering about these containers, I think my wife bought them at the dollar store, and you could pretty much use anything as a bank system like styrofoam cups, bowls, etc. Now each person should receive 3 invention cards face down. Each player should not look at each other's invention cards. At my house, we don't mind and place them face up in front of us. We noticed it really doesn't make a difference if others look at each other's cards. The game plays the same. There might not be that heightened level of not knowing, but the fun factor is still there. So now the game is played simultaneously and it can get a bit chaotic. Everybody goes at the same time. If you're playing with small children like I do, then it might be best if each person takes a turn from youngest to oldest. After many playthroughs, I notice it is still highly random if you play in order or simultaneously. Anyone still has a chance to win. So the person who goes first chooses an action card. You only have one action per turn. We usually place the action cards in front of us and push it up to let the other players know what we have selected. Each action card lets you do something different. The espionage card with the number 1 on it lets you place any one of your 5 spies on any of the 4 designated spots or zones on the game board. Keep in mind that once you place it, you cannot move or remove it. The 4 zones to put a spy on are espionage, which is free, invent costs $2, research is free, and work costs $1. So take for example the twist card spy convention. It allows you to collect money each turn for having a spy placed in any of the 4 zones. The invent zone. If you place a worker on the invent zone, it allows you to get paid whenever 2 people directly next to you invent something. So for example, if someone is sitting on the left of me and on the right, and they both invent something, I would receive $2 total. Remember, it costs $2 to place, and you receive $1 for each meeple or person inventing right next to you. Now, if you have 2 meeples placed here, you would instead receive $2 for each invention each time someone invents something. If you place a meeple on the research zone, it is free, and like espionage, it can have its advantages depending on what cards or twists are drawn. On the work zone, to place a meeple here, it costs $1, but every time someone directly near you works, you receive $1. Again, if you have 2 meeples here, then you get $2. So that covers all the worker placements you can do using the espionage card and all the zones. Again, keep in mind not to use this card if you no longer have any meeples or workers left to place. Invent action card. The invent action card lets you invent something from your invent card pile. If you choose to invent, you must pay the value of the card to invent that item. When you invent, the bottom of the card also includes some various icons that are coming into effect when you play. The 3 red outward arrow icon means that it affects other players and not you. So for example, let's say you pay $12 and invent the paralyzing ray. Well, it also allows you to remove 1 meeple from each player from their zones that they have placed. This green down arrow icon means it only affects you. So for example, this icon allows you to receive an invention card. These icons allow you to receive $1 from the bank for every invention that you have. This icon allows you to place a meeple on any one of the zones if you have one in reserve without having to pay for it. Now sometimes your invention cards will have a slash in it. Take for example X-ray spec card. It allows you to receive $1 for every invention card you have. That pretty much covers the different type of effects to resolve on the cards. So let's get back to the action cards. The research action card allows you to get paid 2 $1 coins and draw an invention card. The work action card allows you to do work and you receive $4 for your work every time. Now if others have placed a meeple on the work zone, they too will be paid every time you work as well as from the bank. So in this example, everyone will receive $1 from the bank. Scoring. After you are done inventing and using the effects of the cards, the blue number in the bottom left is your score. The first person to add them up and reach 20 is the winner. It is best to place your scorecards in a scoring pile. Again, my name is Satyan Patel, and I hope you enjoyed this clarification of the rules and a walkthrough of how Nefarious the board game is played.